me about Memphis that I don't already know.
There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis.
From the boardroom to the streets.
I don't already know.
With Mike from Memphis, man. Together we can fix things. Really?
When you say, I want to be treated fairly, and I want a voice.
Yeah. He saw
voice.
things weren't fair, so he chose to run for mayor. You get up and do something when you really care. It's Memphis 360.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
In the meantime,
It's Memphis 360.
In the meantime, in between time, we got folks shooting people up out the frame. Anybody said a word. We've become accustomed to people dying in this city.
Yeah. It's Memphis 360.
Turning the TV on and the news and see our loved ones and see young people that are out of control. And now you see, okay. We talk about incarceration. We talk about the youth. We talk about giving them the ability. We talk about investing in young people and investing in the community. See, I hate ignorance. I hate when people make decisions about things and they make statements and they haven't done their research.
How can you fix the problem when you don't even know what the problem is?
We need some help in this city.
It's Memphis 360.
See, I hate
It's Memphis 360. Man.
Here we go. And good evening. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Memphis 360, the television show that we say we like to go from the boardroom to the streets. It has been a while since I have done a show by myself. We've had individuals that have been coming in to the show leading up to the elections. Floyd Bonner was supposed to be here tonight. However, they are having debates over at the Rose Theater, I believe, at the University of Memphis. So he called me to let me know that if I wanted to reschedule for later, he had no problem with it. But I encouraged him to go to the debate tonight. Now, I'm going to ask that you talk to me. I have individuals that are on Facebook Live tonight. This is a taping. So you're going to be able to see this on my Facebook page. And I want you to comment even after the show, because this is a very important election. And I want to know what you think. The number to call is 244-6874, 244-6874. I want to know what you think about all of these things that are happening in this mayoral race. You know, they say that Mayor Harrington, what's going on, Bob? They say Mayor Harrington is leading in the polls. I know that you can make polls say anything that you want them to say. I'm not saying he's not leading. I'm just saying that you can make them say whatever you want to say. But I want to break down and talk about some of the candidates. I want to talk about some of the things that I see are happening, that are transpiring. And I want to know what you think. And where are you with all of this when it comes to the elections that are occurring right now? Early voting starts tomorrow, September the 15th. And it runs through, I believe, like the 28th, 29th or something to that effect. I like to early vote because I want to get my vote in. I want to get it out of the way. Some people like the thrill of election day. They like to vote on election day. I don't want to stand in those long lines. I want to get it over with, and then I want to stand back and kind of watch what's going on, me personally. But I definitely want to cast my vote, and I definitely like to cast my vote. But I want to see what you guys think. So please talk to me. I want to talk a little bit first about the crime in this city. And the individual that we elect definitely, for me, have to be a crime fighter. They have to be somebody that wants to address the most serious and the most pressing issue here in the city of Memphis, and that's crime. I just had a conversation today where we were talking about all of these young ladies that are coming up missing, or these young ladies that are coming up killed in this city. There's an alert out for some 21-year-old, I think, that was riding the riverboat, and she's come up missing. So they had all of these individuals that were down, the police with dogs and all of that down on the riverfront today, and they were trying to find this young lady's body. They're thinking either some kind of way she ended up overboard and maybe have drifted back up onto the river banks. But we all know that there's a current in the Mississippi River, and if in fact she may be in there may have been an undertow, and they may find her in New Orleans. I hope that that is not the case, because I don't want anybody to be dead, but that's what they're thinking, because the young lady did not de-embark the boat the night that she was on there for a cruise. Then they found a young lady downtown who was shot and killed in a car. What happened? I do not know. Then they had another young lady who, supposedly her boyfriend dropped her off at the house, and she told him she was going to meet Rico or somebody to that effect. And that young lady has not been found. So now they're looking for that young lady. Then there's another young lady who was missing, and someone saw a fire on the side of the road. And when the fire department put the fire out, the young lady was dead and was on fire. You said they found the young lady? The burned body? That's what I kind of thought. Angel was just informing me that the burning body that was on the side of the road that they found was the young lady who they had, in fact, the boyfriend said that he had dropped her off at the house like 5 o'clock in the morning, and she was going to meet somebody named Rico. Crime is off the chain. And whomever we are going to elect, I hope that they are going to be a crime fighter. I've been watching these debates, and everybody's been tiptoeing around, and when it comes to crime, well, what's your crime platform? Well, we're going to find somebody who has, well, what do you plan on doing? Well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And, I think time for bullshit is over. This is just Mike Williams talking. We need somebody who's going to stand in the gap, and they're going to say, we're going to deal with this crime issue. We're going to put this city on lock. I've had individuals that have talked to me that have said something to the effect of, we need to call the National Guard in. I still say we don't need to call the National Guard in. I still say we have the ability to police Memphis. But see, all of y'all got to stop defending your little crooked kids. I'm saying I call mine what they are. If you're a thief, you're a thief. If you're a thug, you're a thug. If you're a dope boy, you're a dope boy. If you out here, everybody want to run to the defense of these little young people. And they out here running around with Dracos. They out here running around with switches. They out here breaking into people's cars. But then when something happened to him, you want to say he was going to be a brain surgeon. He wasn't going to be a brain surgeon. He was a thug. Now, just because he's your son, your nephew, and I have to put the women in this now too, because these young ladies, they out here wilding out too. We are on track to break the record, the homicide record in this city. We're on track to hit over 400 homicides, possibly, in this city. That is unheard of. We used to be in the hundreds. We used to get up to about, when we got to 236 or 223, we were losing our minds. Guess what? Last year, we were up to 300. The year before that, we were up to 300. So 300 and something, 336 or something like that. And now we're on track to hit 400 homicides. And nobody is mad but me. I'm just kidding. I know you're upset as well. But whomever is going to take office in this election, they have to be willing to stand in the gap. They have to be willing to take the criticism, and they have to be man or woman enough to say, the law-abiding citizens in the city of Memphis come first. We got to stop the revolving door down at 201 Poplar. We got to stop talking about going to get legislation up in Nashville Pass, and we have to actually do that. We got people leaving this city because they are afraid of crime. We got individuals that are working really, really hard in this city to do the right thing, but they're afraid. I know my wife she's halfway afraid to go to the gas station, and she's a police officer. And a lot of times it's not about being a police officer or not, because even I am very cautious how I move, because if I shoot one of your little babies because he got ignorant with me, and we see all of these videos on TikTok, Facebook, where they're shooting up gas stations, they're having shootout at the pumps. And if I shoot one of your little babies, then you're going to say Mike Williams should have did something different. And I'm going to tell you, you should have did something different, because you should have raised your child a little bit different. But I'm getting old. I'm 63, and I ain't got time to play with your children, because they're out here killing people. People are coming up dead. So whomever we elected, you know, I've been listening to these debates, and I'm so sick of all of this placating, and I'm so sick of everybody just kind of trying to go with what they think the public wants to hear. I want somebody to be stern. I want somebody to hold the police accountable, but at the same time, go out here and let the police that are policing police the streets. Well, Michael, you can't do both. Lies. Lies. You can do both. And if we're going to fix this, we're going to have to do both. I want to get a police chief that ain't afraid to stand up in front of a camera and say, you better get your kids. One of the things that everybody remember about Mayor Harrington, when Mayor Harrington came into office, and I can believe when they said he was leading the polls, because when Mayor Harrington came into office, there was a lot of crime going on in the city of Memphis in the 90s. Mayor Harrington, he went through directors like, you know, it was nobody's business. He had no problem with firing a director. He had no problem with hiring a director. One thing about Mayor Harrington is he's very decisive in what he does. But he's also an individual that will stand up and say, yeah, I said it, get the hell out of my office, because they were screwing up, so I got them. And I had visions of Director Godwin, because Mayor Harrington kept saying, blue crush, blue crush, blue crush. Even though he has not done any of the debates, I have watched some of the interviews that he has done on the news channels. So I think that's why a lot of people are being drawn back to Mayor Harrington, because he is a known crime fighter. He is an individual that stands behind what he says, and he makes no excuses and no bones about it. We got to stop having these individuals that want to kowtow to the black community because they may be white, or we got to stop having individuals that may want to kowtow to the white community because they may be black. We got to stop having these individuals that are trying to kowtow to any ethnic group. You know, I was watching the debate last night night before last, on Channel 3. I think it's going to be on 5 tonight, but it was on Channel 3. And I saw Van Turner. He was attacking, and everybody's been attacking Floyd Bonner. Now, let me tell you why they are attacking Floyd Bonner. And the number to call is 244-6874. The phone lines are open. 244-6874. If you disagree with anything I say, if you got anything you want to contribute to what I am saying, or if you have an opinion about what I'm saying, you should. But let me tell you why they are attacking Floyd Bonner. I think this race is for Floyd Bonner to lose. I think he got it. It's just Mike Williams speaking. I think he has been positioned and set up to win. I think a lot of people are supporting Floyd Bonner because he is law enforcement. He is a crime fighter, and that's everybody's number one concern. But I saw Van Turner attacking Floyd Bonner, attacking Paul Young. You know, he's with, I am the president of the NAACP. I was the one who took the statues down. But I'm going to tell you, you don't make no points with me for taking the statues down, because that was a business move more so than Mike Williams was afraid of a statue, because the statue never did anything to me. That's part of our history. But I have to ask Mr. Turner, what happened to those $10 million worth of assets that we gave you for $3,000? I have to ask Mr. Turner, I am a lifetime member of the NAACP, but I don't even know what the NAACP has done. I am a lifetime member of the NAACP in more than one organization, and I was an individual member in the NAACP. So those things that you're throwing out there, and Mr. Turner, I want you to know you're alienating part of the Memphis community, because when you start drumming in on all of that, you're losing a lot of the Caucasian vote. Now, I'm going to tell you why it's so important that whomever is going to win has to have the Caucasian vote. Because even though the city of Memphis is predominantly African American, you got 17 candidates in this race. And all of them are black. So they're going to split the black vote 9 ways to Sunday. Mayor Harrington is going to get his chunk. Van Turner is going to get his chunk. Even Mr. Paul Young, who is an up-and-comer, and I'm going to tell you, Paul has been smooth in what he's doing. I've been watching him. He's very articulate. He's very smooth. I don't think he's there yet, me personally, but I think he's very smooth. Mr. J.W. Gibson, he was attacking Floyd Bonner. But see, all of them know they got to knock Mr. Bonner off that pinnacle. Because they're going to split the black vote 9 ways to Sunday. And there is no Republican candidate in this race. There's no white candidate in this race. So what's going to push the individuals that are running, all of those black candidates, just like with Mr. Obama could not have been the president of the United States unless he had Caucasians that supported him. They already know that Mr. Bonner has received a lot of the Caucasian vote, and Mr. Turner attacked him to say, you got the recommendation of the Republican Party. Like that's something crazy or something. The Republicans don't have a Republican candidate in this race. If I was Mr. Bonner, I would have said, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Because as a representative of all citizens of this city, and being that this is a nonpartisan race, and everybody going to say, well, you know it's partisan. It is partisan. But I would say, because it is a nonpartisan race, I welcome the recommendation, because the Republican Party cannot endorse Mr. Bonner because he's not a Republican. However, the Republican Party can recommend Mr. Bonner. Because a lot of you know yesterday, 901 whatever, they sent out the report card on all of the candidates. And they had Mr. Bonner rated as the highest. If I was Mr. Bonner, I'm telling you, Mr. Bonner, do not run away from it. Embrace it. Mr. Turner kept jumping on Paul Young to say that Paul Young has voted for Republican candidates or something to that effect. Don't run away from it. Because I'm going to tell you, we've had Democratic rule in this city for the last 30 years. And we find ourselves in this position. And I'm a Democrat. But I am getting so sick and tired of these weak Democrats that don't have the ability or won't stand up and do the right things. Invest in your community. Ensure the safety of your citizens, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. Ensuring that our children have facilities that they can go to, that they have a water park, or that they have an amusement park for a city our size, to keep them actively engaged so that they can have jobs in the summertime. Someone that can work across party lines. Because as the mayor of this city, you have to be able to represent Democrats, Republicans, the elitists, businessmen, government workers, and the poor of this city. And that's the problem, and that's why we find ourselves in the situation that we are. Because what I find is that we elect a lot of Democrats into these positions, but they never give back to the community or the constituency that elected them to the position. You know, we had Mr. Larry Springfield on our show last week, and they getting raw now because I heard his commercial on 97.1. He went in on Michael and Easter Thomas. Woo! He said, you guys elected Michael and Easter Thomas, and she has been self-serving. That's what he said. Listen to the commercial. He said she has taken a job with the Riverfront Development Corporation. He didn't say them. I said the name of the entity. He just said with a government entity or an entity that does business with the government, the Riverfront Development Corporation, for a high-paying job. He also went in to say, and he didn't bite his tongue, that Michael and Easter Thomas also was responsible, or the city council gave the organization that her husband worked for all of this money. But you have not seen anything done in North Memphis. That's what Mr. Springfield said. Mike Williams didn't say that. I'm just paraphrasing what Mr. Springfield said. Then you got all of these people that are attacking Mr. Bonner. You know, that's something out of the playbook that Mr. Strickland did back in the 2015 election when I ran for mayor. Mr. Strickland attacked Mayor Warden, attacked Mayor Warden, attacked Mayor Warden. But everybody forgot that Mr. Strickland was one of the supporters of almost everything Mayor Warden did during that time. Mr. Strickland was the one who took the retirees off the insurance. Mr. Strickland was the one who did the 4.6 pay cut. He was in on it, y'all. Mr. Strickland was the one who cut the police department and positions on the police department. But see, y'all are so quick to forget. And then he turned around and put it all in Mayor Warden's lap. But you better understand, Mayor Warden could not have done anything unless he had the votes on the city council to do it. So now you're mad at Mayor Warden, but you give everybody else a pass. Now, a lot of the reason why it is very critical for whomever is going to get the Republican Party's vote, I'm just calling it like it is. You know, you can say what you want to say, but you know me, I don't have no problem and I don't bite my tongue. It's very important who is going to get the Republican vote in this city. That's if they come out to vote, because a lot of times they be like, we ain't got nobody in there, we ain't gonna vote for nobody. But if they come out to the polls, because regardless of your political affiliation, everybody is sick and tired of crime in this city. Everybody is tired of feeling like a prisoner in their own home. Everybody is sick and tired. You got shootings that are happening in front of Kroger's. You got people that are still backing into Buster's liquor store up there at Poplar and Highland. I think they've been hit 3 times. And I'm not saying that you can prevent all of the crime that is occurring in this city. But what I am saying is that we got to have somebody that is going to be proactive as opposed to reactive. We got to have somebody who's going to stand up and say, we ain't taking this bull crap no more. And yeah, news media, you can say what you want to say, but we finna lock that ass up. And I stand behind my police officers. Now, don't get me wrong. If the police are doing something to violate an individual's rights, then their asses need to be dealt with. But you got to have that individual that has the ability to walk that line, not be soft on criminals and not be soft on the police, but allow the police to do their job, that which they have taken a sworn oath to do, and to back them. Look, just because the police go out there and cuss somebody out because they trying to arrest them, you the ones wanted these damn cameras. Y'all wanted them. You wanted these cameras, so now you see what really go on. But I'm going to tell you this, when they out there chasing somebody and they running around with a daggone switch, or they running around with a Draco or an AK-47, ain't nobody going to be out there going, excuse me, could you stop please? No, it's going to be put that damn gun down, I'm going to blow your brains out. Because you got to be able to get on that criminal's level. But Michael, he was 13. But he was a 13-year-old with a gun. Michael, he was 15 and he was going to be a brain surgeon. Not no more. Because I'm trying to lay him down if he's pointing a switch at me. He pointing a pistol with a switch. Do y'all know what a switch is? Do you know a switch go brrr, 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 brrr? But we got to have somebody, be it male or female or whoever you decide to vote for, You better make sure that they got our best interests at heart, because this is a pivotal point in the city of Memphis. But we got to have somebody also who is not going to abandon economic development, but at the same time, they have to understand that there are other areas in the city other than downtown. We got to have somebody who understands that we got to make a commitment to doing our infrastructure. We keep talking about it, but nobody's doing anything about it. No, let's give $200 million to trim trees. We got to do something about MLG&W. A lot of people are saying we need to get rid of MLG&W. We need a competitor in here for MLG&W. Y'all don't really know what you're talking about. You do need somebody who has the wherewithal and the ability to make MLG&W efficient. But I'm going to tell you, MLG&W belongs to the citizens of this city. It don't belong to, it's not a private industry, which they keep trying to treat it as. But that's because your city council let them. That's because your mayor let them. That's because your mayor appoint people over MLG&W, and it's not for the betterment of the citizens of this city. But MLG&W is not a for-profit company. MLG&W should be making funds to reinvest into the development of the infrastructure for MLG&W, which is owned by the citizens of Memphis and which should be servicing the citizens of the city of Memphis, Shelby County, and surrounding areas. How hard is this? This is not rocket scientists. Somebody just got to have the balls. Oh, excuse me. What do I say for ladies? Or if you are a female, have the wherewithal to be able to stand up and say, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to fix the city of Memphis. And guess what? Enact that plan and move forward. I keep hearing everybody, I'm going to put together a committee and we're going to study some more. We've been studying for years. We've been putting together focus group for years. We've been putting together all of this crap for years just to say we putting together focus groups, and because you ain't got the balls to go out there or the wherewithal to do whatever it is that needs to be done to fix this city. You got Miss Camper. Miss Camper is the minority leader of the House. Has done a lot of great things that nobody really knows about because she has not touted them. Has been working across the aisles up there, Nashville. She needs to be a little bit stronger, though. She needs to be coming out, letting you know what's going on, letting you know what's happening. Miss McKissick, on the school board. She was the chairman of the school board when they let Joyce Ray go. I have issues with the school board. I don't think they should have let Joyce Ray off the hook. That's just Mike Williams talking, and I know some people aren't going to like it. I'm saying if you have done all of these things, if we pay $150,000 to do an investigation, then I want the findings of that investigation revealed. But they didn't reveal it. And I asked Ms. McKissick, why did they not reveal it? And she said, well, Michael, we didn't want the kids exposed to what may have come out of the investigation. I said, but, Ms. McKissick, we gave this guy $750,000 to go on about his business. If we would have revealed the findings of the investigation, we may not have had to pay him anything, and we would have told the kids at that time, it is not okay to do what the hell you want to do. It is not okay to abuse your position. It is not okay. And we would have held him accountable, and I would rather teach the kids that lesson, if they paying attention at all, than to give them the lesson that you can do what you want to do. You can abuse people. You can abuse your position. And I'm not saying that's what Mr. Ray did. I'm saying that if in fact that was, because we don't know, because the findings of the investigation was never revealed. But I have problems when people do things like that, because it makes me think you're hiding something and you're working deals. Now, if we only had to give him $20,000 and let him go about his business, that's one thing. But you're talking about almost $750,000, which is $750,000 of my tax dollars. So that concerns me. It is very important that you vote. Your vote counts. I know a lot of people are going to say, Michael, my vote don't count. No, yes, it does. Collectively, our votes count. People can win or lose an election. When we got District 3 or District 7 or District 5 or District 4, and you only have 800 people vote, when you got 90,000 individuals in that district, so you let 900 people decide the destiny of a 90,000 district, 90,000 person district. And then you want to complain. The police department. I will tell you, if I was the mayor, I don't mean no harm, CJ got to go. They scared to answer that question. Well, I gotta get in and I gotta do an evaluation and I have to see what's going on. Her ass be gone. The dude that woulda, he'd be gone. Jones or whatever his name is. We need somebody that's in tune with the city of Memphis, that has the ability to go out into the community, that has background and understand where we are, that has the ability to put community policing in place, that can go out there and talk to the people in the community on the ground. I don't care if you're Delta, I don't care if you're AKA, I don't care if you're Alpha, Omega, I don't care. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the Divine Nine. They have done great things. But see, in my obligation, and I'm not a Divine Nine, I'm just part of the organization where all that stuff came from, the Masonic organization. But see, when I took an oath or an obligation, it said that I'm going to ensure that I take care of the individuals within the community that cannot take care of themselves. I am going to make sure that I stand up for those that cannot stand up for themselves. I said that I am going to be a pillar in my community, be a leader in my community, be forthright in my community. And I'm not sure what all of the obligations are for all of these organizations, but I would hope that there's something similar. And in doing that, that means a lot of times people already assume Mike Williams goes against the grain. No, I don't go against the grain. I just call bullshit when I see bullshit. And a lot of times people don't like that. Michael, why are you talking about them? And why do you do that? And why do you do this? Because it's my solemn duty to stand up for those that cannot stand up for themselves. Well, Michael, you could be better off if you just play the game and go along with the flow. God continuously blessed me because of some of the things that I do and the sacrifices that I make. But Michael, he's a this or he's a that, or, you know, he went to Manassas. I don't care. So did I. So if we went to Manassas, or if we are cut from the same cloth, if we learned the same things, then we should have the same values. But see, some of us, and this is the problem with the city of Memphis, and this is how I see it. This is why this election is so important. And I'm going to tell you, if you vote, don't get discouraged if the individuals we put in there do not live up to your expectations, because a lot of them have not lived up to our expectations in the past. However, if they do not live up to your expectations, you should not allow them a second term. We should hold their feet to the fire. Just like we want to march because we feel somebody has been wrongfully killed in this city, we should march to City Hall. We should fill City Hall Plaza, whatever they call that plaza up there, not with just individuals that are mad because somebody was killed, but we should fill that plaza when we see that they're letting our community become blighted, when we see that they're not investing in our community, when we see that they're continuously allowing these crooks to run rampant, when we see that they're continuously letting these people out of jail. How do we allow somebody to shoot at the precinct commander on a precinct parking lot and we let them out of jail? Well, they were traumatically affected. What? Their boyfriend was killed months ago, and they thought that the police cruiser may have been that car. What? You're kidding me. I get it. When we're dealing with the ACLU, we're dealing with organizations within the city of Memphis that are advocating for individuals that are being locked up, incarcerated. They're trying to ensure that they have their day in court. They're trying to ensure that they have a swift and speedy trial. They're trying to ensure that they have the ability to attain bond. I get it. But some people don't need to be out. Some people are getting right back out of jail and they're committing crimes. They're getting right back out and they're victimizing individuals that are in this community. Who is the advocate for the citizens of the city of Memphis? For the tax-paying, law-abiding citizens of Memphis. Who's their advocate? Crystal Rice on Facebook says, every crime don't deserve a bond. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Get all their blanks out of there. They not doing their job. I'm just saying that Memphis is at a critical point. This election is very critical. I've heard people say that there's nobody in this race that deserves to be mayor. I've heard that, other than them. The person that was saying it, and it was a mayoral candidate. I've heard individuals that say, there may not be a chance for us to turn this around in the city of Memphis and to make it better. I hear people say that it may be too late. Well, I'm an optimist, and I don't think it's too late. I think we have the ability to save the city of Memphis with all of the attributes that it has. But I think we have to hold these individuals that we have given stewardship of the leadership of this city. We have to hold their feet to the fire, and we have to hold them accountable. I don't care who we elect. Now, I said in the beginning that it's going to be dependent on how the Republican Party / the Caucasian sector in this city votes. Because they're going to split the black vote all over the place. So everybody already know that. You got McKissick, you got Karen Camper, you got Van Turner, you got Paul Young, you got J.W. Gibson, you got Mayor Harrington, you got Floyd Bonner, and I can't remember the young lady's name, Brittany something, and some of the other candidates that are actually running. You got all of these people in the black community that are vying for the black vote. So what's going to determine who's going to be your next mayor, the mayor of Memphis, is going to be the Republican Party. And it's going to be individuals that you would not normally think that are going to vote for black people, because there are no white candidates for mayor. And I apologize if, because I'm saying black and white, I offend people, but I don't know what else to say. Caucasian, African American, sometimes I say it and sometimes I don't. But I'm just trying to tell you what this is going to boil down to. So I believe that the reason Van Turner and J.W. Gibson and everybody is coming at Floyd Bonner is because they feel as though the last election, which was for sheriff, Mr. Bonner received a lot of those votes. Mr. Bonner received a lot of that support. So that's why they're taking those pings at Mr. Bonner. But I'm going to tell you that I've also had conversations with my Caucasian brethren, and a lot of them are liking Mayor Harrington right about now, too, because they know what he did back in the 90s to curtail the crime in this city. And Mayor Harrington is not off when he says a lot of times, I'm not doing debates. He said, I have a proven track record. You know what I can do. So I'm not coming down there to the Rose Theater. I'm not going over to WREG. I'm not going to Channel 17. I'm not going to Channel 24. I'm not going to these little places because I was the mayor for 19 years in this city, and I have already proven myself. Check the record. I was a school superintendent, and then I was the mayor. So if you want somebody who's proven and somebody who has done it, that's what Mayor Harrington says. What do you think? The number to call is 244-6874, 244-6874. I've been going on and on and on. We got a couple of minutes left in regards to all of the things that are happening, looking at these debates, looking at these commercials. You know, I did a commercial for Davin Clemens. I did a radio spot for him, and some people were like, Michael, you said you weren't going to endorse anybody. I believe in Davin. Davin is a friend of mine. Davin has been a friend of mine for over 20 years. I don't believe in people putting people in races just because they want to maintain that seat. Davin has been out here working really, really hard, and I'm not doing a commercial right now for Davin. I'm just telling those that want to know, because some people have asked me to be on their posters and to do this and to do that, and I told them, no, I'm not going to. I'm not doing that. But yes, I did it for Davin, because I believe Davin, we need an individual on that city council that knows law enforcement, that has the ability to be able to determine. But what I like about Davin, I've seen Davin out there protesting too when individuals were killed. Yeah, he was out there protesting. Incognito, trying to hide, all of that. But he was protesting. But he's also been a police officer. So I know he knows both sides. And we need people that are able to talk to those individuals on the council and in leadership positions that knows both sides. Because a lot of these individuals that are making these stupid resolutions that has no teeth and does nothing but show that they've done a resolution, but does not affect the crime in this city. So yes, I did a commercial for Davin, and I hope he wins. And guess what? If he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, I'm going to talk about his ass too. And I've told him that. And anybody that I have supported. Because I'm finding, even now, I'm making phone calls to people that I have supported. And they don't return my calls. I haven't called out their name. But I just find that that's so crazy. And I've never asked for anything for me, Mike Williams. Never. I'm asking for things that are going to help citizens in this city. I'm asking that you look at something that may help young women in this city to support their families. Those are the kind of things that I'm simply asking you to look at. I'm not saying, hey, look, I need a job. Hey, look, can you help me out? Hey, look, I need you to do something for my friend. That ain't it. I'm saying there are legitimate needs in this city and things that are going to help to curtail the crime. It's not just law enforcement. We got organizations that are out here working really, really hard in the community, but they can't get grants or they can't get funding or they don't know how to acquire money. How come our city council, our county commission don't set up something to whereas they hire grant writers to assist a lot of these organizations that are out here in the community to acquire federal grants, to apply for federal grants? Because a lot of these people that have these organizations, they don't know how to get to that money. So why are we not assisting them to get to that money so that we can, in fact, curtail the crime in this city? You know, when we talk about crime, it's about illiteracy. It's about economics. Y'all still letting me talk, I see. The number to call is 244-6874, 244-6874. If you have an opinion, that's 901-244-6874, 901-244-6874. If you have an opinion about anything that I've said, anything you want to contest or you want to debate or you want to discuss, please give me a call. I have a couple of minutes left and I'm definitely willing to discuss this with you. But this election is so important. At this juncture in the city of Memphis, this election is going to put people in office that are going to be making policies that are going to be determining how the monies in the city of Memphis is being spent. Mr. Strickland has made sure, I passed Liberty Bowl Stadium getting here. He's made, and hey, I think the Tigers are playing tonight. Mr. Strickland has made sure that he's already started the development. Remember, he said he wanted to spend $750 million over there in that area. So they've made sure before he got out of there that they put $750 million worth of development into that area over there. But what's happening in Parkway Village? What's happening in Raleigh? What's happening in the Bay Area? What's happening in Whitehaven? And I'm going to tell you, they better start focusing on Cordova because it's being hit and ravaged with crime right now, even though that was a wonderful neighborhood. But it's almost becoming like Hickory Hill, which now they refer to as Hickory Hood, unfortunately. So where are all the individuals that are on the city council, those individuals that are on the county commission that represent those areas? I'm just asking. Have you thought about it? Do you think about it? Well, Michael, there are only a couple of people and they can't really just do it by themselves. No, they can't do it by themselves. But because they are the governing body of the city of Memphis or the governing body of Shelby County, they have the ability to leverage, listen to me, leverage resources and funding to be able to help those areas when it comes to development, when it comes to small businesses, when it comes to helping and assisting to acquire federal grants if they took the time, when it comes to ensuring that the citizens are safe in that area by either upping the complement of police and truly engaging them. Because I've got to tell you also, before I left the police association, we were able to get a referendum passed. That referendum is generating anywhere from $54 to $72 million a year. They can make it so inviting for police right now. They just got a 14% raise. And Mr. Strickland, I want to know why we have not done anything for the retirees. Because that money could be used for that as well. Raleigh City Councilwoman doesn't do anything. We see her when it is election time. That's what Mika Harding says. And I guess she's referring to either Michael and Easter Thomas or the other young lady, Rhonda Logan, one of the two she's referring to. But Mika Harding, I want to tell you that, it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we do not allow these individuals to continuously ignore us. I can get up here every day. She said it's Rhonda Logan. I had pulled a petition to run for that position, but I decided not to. I also pulled a petition to run for city court clerk, but they took that off the ballot. I'm going to wait because God said, be still. I'm going to wait and see what opens up. But I will be running for something in the future. But this is not about Mike Williams. This is about this election. I want you to give some serious thought to this election. I want you to give some serious thought to who you're going to vote for. I hope you don't vote for anybody just because of name recognition. I hope you vote for people because they have a proven record, just like Mayor Harrington says. Individuals that have stood in the gap, individuals that have fought for you. Individuals that you have no doubt about, if you had to stand in a firefight with somebody, you wouldn't mind standing next to them because you know they got your back. As opposed to, oh, they look good, they sound good, they feel good, but they have not done one doggone thing to enhance the quality of life for you as a citizen of this city. Hey, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Memphis 360. It has been a plum-pleasing pleasure. Please go vote. It is your duty to go vote. Let's not allow somebody to win a district with 900 votes and you have 90,000 individuals in that district. Exercise your right. There are those that have fought and died, so a lot of us can have the ability to vote, and I don't take that very lightly. So until next week, same time, same location, be blessed, be strong, be encouraged, and we'll see you next week.